Council regular meeting to order for June the 16th, 2026 here at 6 p.m. Roll call, Brad Smith.
Here.
Leisha Beck.
Here.
Sean
I'm
Crosky.
here.
Mark's out with he's gonna be absent tonight. He had a death in the family. Larry.
Here.
Brad Simmons.
Here.
Ashley Wills.
Here.
Steve Ramuni.
Here.
And 9 people in the audience. If we would have an invocation with Alicia and the Pledge of Allegiance with Sean.
Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for the day that you've given us, Lord. I just ask that you continue to watch over us and guide us, Lord. And we just thank you for all our blessings, Lord. We give you all the praise and the glory. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda? Seeing none, we'll go to item 4, discuss and or approve the following meeting minutes. June the 2nd, 2026.
Shane.
Motion by Brad Smith, seconded by Sean. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 5, approve resolution 2026-08, awarding the bid for installation of an emergency generator for City Hall through DOC grant number HL 207.
Previously, we received that grant at HL 207 was for the City Hall parking project. We ended up changing the scope of the project toward the end there to install an emergency generator. We did put out for proposals we provide all purchase design services, plans, schematics, design, plans, schematics, and installation of emergency generators. That proposal was advertised in the newspaper and available on the website. And the proposal closed on May 28th at 2 p.m. We only had received one response to that proposal, and that's what we're here tonight to request the award that to Ready.
2025, but it doesn't.
Ready Power LLC, the amount of $117,136. This project is coming to an end, so this would be basically the last main thing in that project.
This will be resolution 2026-08.
Yeah.
Resolution of the City Council of the City of Moore Haven, Florida, awarding Florida Department of Commerce DOC grant HL 207, City of Moore Haven City Hall study for purchase design services, plans, schematics, and installation of emergency generator for City Hall to Ready Power LLC in the amount of $117,114.00 base bid as the lowest responsible proposer to the request for proposals, closing on May 28, 2026, and authorizing the mayor to execute the contract, providing for an effective date.
Motion by Alicia, seconded by Sean. Is there any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor? All opposed? Motion will carry. Okay. Item number 6, take possible action related to SFRPC-Terracon Brownsfield site specific reuse proposal number PJU 257097 and or other development discussions. Mr. Tibbs.
As we have that meeting at the public meeting last night, we did have the South Florida Regional Planning Council here to present this proposal. They had received a grant for doing the brownfields studies, doing phase one, phase two of different properties in the area. That grant was issued in 2022. It's due to expire as of September 30th. So this, like I said, this is a grant funded proposal that's been submitted. We basically we have to get this project to close out that grant. They identified six parcels that's last night in this proposal. We know that a couple of the parcels have been cleaned up already. We can, what we can do after approving this, we can amend it through the rest of this period to put on any other project that needs to clean up. So the ones that we did clean up, they'll probably have to come back and do Terragon, who's their firm that does the level 1 and level 2 site analysis. We'll probably have to come by and verify those, but like I said, so we're not necessarily totally locked into these six we have, but we need to spend that amount of funding by September 30th. So as we look at each of these projects, except if we need to amend the agreement, we can to add those projects.
So
They did indicate that there is additional funding through another grant to do more site analysis phase 1 and phase 2 throughout Moore-Haven and Glades County. So if we have anybody that has not been identified yet, we can get them identified. And there, like I said, there's a separate grant for that thing, but this specific grant has that amount of money left into it. So we're going to spend it based on the projects that we have here. Plus, if we have to swap out anything for it, it's not for those that have been completed already. But
Okay.
The idea, the problem is that, they're getting down there to the time frame where we have to, at least get through one to be able to spend that money prior to September 30th.
Okay, there's some confusion so bear with me with the questions I'm fixing to ask. So some of although you and I've talked about this, I think I understand, but for everybody else. So properties that we have already brownfield,
Yes.
we're going to do them again because they've expired or because we need to go to a different stage.
Well, if it's property that just had a level 1, that's only good for 4 or 5 months. But if we've had a property that had a level 1 and a level 2, and we have 2 of the properties are the city lot in the marina,
Right.
and the lot that Glades Electric owns adjacent to it. Those 2 have been cleaned up using the in-house resources.
Right.
So they'll obviously come back and inspect those to make sure that nothing's come back, but they won't redo those again. So we'll be able to substitute 2 additional properties for that.
Correct.
And we can identify. But if there's some, that have had this, for example, a level 2 done probably quite a while ago, they probably need to be revisited. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to spend that amount of money.
Right. So we're getting 49,100 and some change. Is that that's all we're getting? So we got to spend that. Is that going to be enough to do what we need to do?
Yes, because the Tarragon and South Florida City Council has determined how they got that number. The number level 1, the number level 2s that they can be afforded under this particular contract.
So
So once we use those inspections up, that's the end of it.
right. So could we take that money? Just so I'm clear, we know we've got 2 properties, possibly 3 more that we want to look at. can we amend this to do those properties?
Yes, I
Okay.
talked to the director today and said, when we want to amend, we'll come back and amend the agreement to drop whatever properties in here and add the new properties.
All right. You got it, everybody good now? We're all right.
Thanks for clearing that up though, because it was very confusing.
It took a while. We've been through discussions to
Yeah.
get to on this.
So,
But like I said, I think what you wanted to also clarify last night is that this is a certain grant. There is an additional grant that they have, a larger grant. Because I think they were awarded like $500,000 to do landfill assessments in like in 4 or 5 counties surrounded here. So there's money in a larger grant. If we have someone that's never been identified yet, that we want to get on there, we could, if we get the property owner to sign a release that lets them come on there, they can do that under that larger grant.
correct. Okay. Do you have any questions?
No, I'm
You're
good now.
good?
I'm good.
All right.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve the SFRPC Terracon Brownsville site reuse proposal. Been made, motion made by Alicia, seconded by Sean. Is there any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, approval of resolution number 2026-09, authorizing the execution, thank you, of the statewide mutual aid agreement, SMAA-2023, with the State of Florida Division of Emergency Management, FDEM.
Okay, with the state of Florida Department of Emergency Management has taken over the responsibilities that FEMA used to take in relation to national disaster. Now, they will set up mutual aid, they will set up funding, that thing related to those things. So they had provided a contract for cities or counties to enter into that Florida Department of Emergency Management agreement. So that's what this is, the resolution to approve the city enter into that contract with Florida Department of Emergency Management for disaster related services.
Okay.
Years to not appeal. Yeah, sorry. The resolution 2026-09, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Moorhaven, Florida, authorizing the execution of the statewide mutual aid agreement, SMAA, with the State of Florida Division of Emergency Management, providing for adoption of representation, providing for conflict, providing an effective date.
Move to approve resolution number 2026-09.
Motion by Brad Smith, seconded by Alicia to approve the SMA agreement. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Okay, report of officers, Mr. City Manager,
I don't have anything.
City Attorney.
Got a couple things. We had gotten a public records request regarding code enforcement. So I had Ashley and Colleen. When I was looking at looking through what we need to do for the production, we need to reference case numbers chronologically for the year, obviously 01, 02, 03, whether or not they are resolved informally, or we eventually have to file and go into court. It'll make it easier, especially in the future if you get more of these. So I know you had a list submitted. So if you can go back and chronologically put them in order, because then we'll need to comply with that. Okay, and then if you have any questions, just let me know. All right.
So clarify something for me.
Yeah.
You want it on that paper right there?
I don't care how it is, but it needs to be case numbers referenced because usually that's how we're going to,
Of what's on that paper, not by individual. So like John Doe, this is the first offense, second offense, third offense. You're not wanting that.
If
No, I'm
it's
not
been
saying
resolved
that.
and a new case opens, it'll
Correct.
get a new case.
yeah,
number.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we need better control, internal control by case number, and then property owner, first offense, multiple offense, so on and so forth. And then we'll make it easier for the council to then review and then make a determination as to whether or not you have any questions or whatever the case may be.
So has Larry or Colleen been notified of this before tonight? Or is this just something
Well,
that,
this came up because when because Ashley sends me whatever public records requests come through for me to review. So one came in last week or this week, I don't remember.
Mhm.
It was last week. So when I saw it last week, I immediately responded to Ashley and Colleen to make sure, obviously, we timely comply and what is there that we have to fulfill compliance. And so that's when it came to my attention that we don't have these chronologically by year coded into our system. So at a minimum, I want to see that because it'll just make it easier for me, for Ashley, if we do have to go to court, to do it by that process. So to answer your question, I responded to them when I saw the public records request a few days ago, but I'm just following up and letting you know what we're going to try to set up. If you guys want to set it up categorically different, then
you keep adding to that paper, we're going to have to go from small to large. I
well,
mean, which is what we need to do. It should have already been done. Because it's,
because if I do have to see what happens is because if I do go to court, we have to have a case number because when I say we, the city internally controls the code enforcement docket. It doesn't go through the clerk's office. So typically, if you filed something with the clerk, they would assign it their own case number. But this is an internal monitoring
We're
for the
doing it.
city. So we'll have
Okay.
to do it, and I just want to make sure it gets done right
Okay.
for various reasons.
Colleen, you're good with that? You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right.
The other thing too is, recently we had some inquiries as far as potential uses of residential properties and we had sent those to our planner, Jason Utley, but I've also asked him to look into creating a vacant building maintenance ordinance. So we can address vacant, especially on the commercial side, vacant properties that are not being maintained and would give us better code enforcement mechanisms to get compliance or not, then we'll take it to court. So I've asked him to do that and I'll work with him on that and Mr. Tibbs. And then the other thing that occurred to me, Mr. Tibbs, didn't we speak to him about a year or so ago about on the industrial side that we probably needed to look at the industrial uses and because right now you have industrial uses under the sun and it's very intense industrial use, which is not really appropriate for the city, in my opinion. And I think that leads to other intensive uses in the past that have created perhaps groundwater issues. So I want to also revamp the industrial use within the city, but we'll coordinate with our planner as far as compiling a list of what would be more reasonable. I would call like light industrial types uses, because as you know, we have very limited property that's zoned industrial. So we want to make sure that it's not something that's overbroad. And then we wind up in a situation where we have somebody putting a dump in the middle of the city. So that's it.
Does anybody have anything for Steve? Thank you, Steve.
Mhm.
Ashley?
I don't have anything.
Does anybody have anything for Ashley?
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up from the last meeting about the invoice for Washington Park. See if it got paid.
It got paid today.
Okay, so they can move on to the next.
Yep. Whenever they're ready, they'll have to let us know.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Mhm.
That's all I have.
Bradley Wade,
That's pretty much business as usual. So, I reached out, tried to get some bids for the 10-hole change out that we spoke about. And it's hard to get anybody in here that wants to do any work right now. The contract work online work anyway, so I'm still gonna reach out, and try to get some more. Nobody wants to come out here for. We do have one company that's willing and ready to go, but as far as the tractor that we've been trying to replace. When I got the quote on the first one, I went and looked at it. It was a little bit too big of a tractor than what we needed, so we went back. Actually, today looked the one, find one that's suitable. I can go get the other, get comparable quotes for. Go from there. I had to start back over from scratch because what they sent me the first time was more than we needed.
okay,
Water distribution, they're handing out some samples, kits to the consumers across all of Moorhaven. And if they'll help us out by following directions on those, Joe's been out today giving them out. So simple directions are on a piece of paper. They'll help us out, get them returned to us and help us out with through lead, copper, stuff like that. So every few years we have to do it. And it's a consumer has to take it in their house, run the water for a few minutes, get the sample and return it to it. Or we actually go back and get it. They would help spread the word to anybody that'll call us. We can help them out. That's all I got.
okay.
Can we make a Facebook post to announce that and advertising that?
Can you put that on Facebook?
Mhm.
If you want to, you may want to call Craig at WAFC and see if he will make an announcement about that.
Okay.
I'm not saying he will, I'm just saying.
About 20.
It's okay. It'll be on there after they listen to the meeting tonight.
Yeah.
It'll be on there.
Anybody have anything for Brad? Y'all good? All right. Brad, I'll go ahead. I have one thing. I had some complaints about, and I know not the whole bridge is not ours, but if you could you get the guys to check that bridge? Yeah, last couple times I've passed it, it's been, I guess somebody thinks they can just ride down 7 or 27, throw red stuff. That's what I saw today, but
Just 27, whatever.
yeah, but if you could just maybe get the guys maybe once a day in the mornings, ride through there and check, make sure that the bridge looks halfway presentable, please. Cause it's kind of, when we come through town, we kind of want to look nicer than.
Take care of it.
Thank you, sir. All right, approval of the bills in the amount of $104,787.32.
Make a motion to approve the bills.
Motion by Sean, second by Alicia. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion will carry. Citizens' comments, general concerns, speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Don't everybody jump at once.
I would like to know that
Hold on, can you come to the,
I'm a little slow.
hold on a minute, hold on. Are you,
I can-
You just gotta keep-
okay,
Basically, all I'm looking at is gathering information. I don't expect the questions to be all answered immediately, but I know we do have a noise ordinance.
yes, sir.
Does it have a number, a decibel number, and do we have a way to, and what I'm concerned about is the traffic coming over the bridge
Yes, sir.
and the Jake break. That
There's an ordinance on
There is an ordinance and a sign on the bridge that says no Jake breaks.
Is there?
Yes, sir.
It does say it?
Yes, sir.
So we're basically leaving it up to the people to comply with the sign.
And sheriff's office.
But we do not have a unit of making them comply.
You would have to speak to the sheriff's department about that.
That's what I'm basically trying to find out.
Yes, sir. Or the highway patrol.
Okay, within that noise ordinance, is there a level of decibel that is measurable?
There is, I don't remember what it is.
Because I take my own reading underneath the bridge. And, I can compare it to 50, even it's just for beep, 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 beep.
Right.
When a truck goes by and hits that Jake brake, the only reason he's doing it is going 60 miles an hour when he hits 35 miles an hour.
Exactly.
And he hits, and you hear it all the way to the courthouse.
Mhm.
That's annoying, and noise pollution. And I just want to know
if I could find out that number within the next 48 hours from somebody, whatever it is.
You wait about 2 seconds and we'll have it right now for you.
Service. And that's basically all I'm looking at today.
There's,
There's
There-
different sound
at
limits.
various times and depending on categories, we can make you a copy of the particular section of the ordinance that lays it out, and then you could just go ahead and read it.
And the ordinance would include the center of the bridge, which is within the city limits.
Yes. The top of the bridge down.
It's got a category for commercial.
Yeah, commercial, residential, manufacturing and industrial business.
Yeah, I'd just like to gather what I can on it so I can see if it's worth pursuing.
Copy.
Even if it is, get the county or the state or whatever. It's the state's road, right?
What's the next?
Not a 100% sign, that sign's too up.
I haven't seen the sign and I look for it.
Even if it was. most of
I
the-
haven't seen it in a year, but I've been, and every time I come back from Lewis, then I'm like,
74.
Well, if it's not there, I apologize. I
79.4.
would have swore it was there. I don't drive semi, so I don't
I
hit
know
take
a lot of people
breaks.
told me we used to have.
No, there was a sign there. I know there was a sign there. I remember seeing it.
Okay.
But it is an ordinance. You have no Jake breaks.
Yeah,
I'll just
and
get
so
the whole
it-
ordinance.
And they're supposed to comply with that, but you know who's driving them trucks today?
Well,
Just,
and getting into all that.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can't print from here.
Oh, you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll get it.
okay.
It's ordinance 321. I'll go pull it.
Anyone else?
As well, I'm Nick Lozano. I'm the commander of the Sons of AMVETS out of Buckhead Ridge, post 2001. Was here, Rashandra sent her packet over. I have the commander of the AMVETS also. He came, made it tonight with me. We were rushing to get here. First off, I wanted to address 4th of July. We'd like to do a ceremony at 10 o'clock in the morning, recognizing 4th of July, the 250th anniversary of the armed forces. Probably like a 30-minute ceremony. Want to make sure that we would be allowed to do that.
You just want to do it here at the memorial?
Yep, we're gonna do it at the memorial. My second question goes back to the memorial. Our post wants to adopt that park. What do we need to do? How can we go about it?
I'm not sure. but
Can we
I can
meet?
find
Can we
out.
discuss this after the meeting? Come up with some ideas
Yes,
for you?
not a problem, sir. That's,
Okay.
get out of the way.
And it's a good idea, but let us
Not a
discuss
problem.
some issues.
Yep.
As far as the 4th of July, I don't have one bit of problem with that.
Not a problem. I also talked to Tim Stanley and, he was on board because I was explaining what I was coming to talk about
Mhm.
also. So, that's great.
Okay.
Would y'all advertise this?
Yeah, we're gonna advertise it, and I know you have your big 4th of July ceremony. We're also probably gonna put up a tent and do some membership drive also that day. Let everybody know that we are in the community and we are here.
You know what would be would probably be helpful? See the guy sitting right up beside you? Raise your hand, Jake. Talk to him.
We talked before after. the meeting.
He's got a whole thing planned, him and Alicia, for the 4th of July. If you'll get with them, they can
They'll put me
set
in the
you
right
straight
direction.
up. Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Okay, anybody else? All right, Gary, come on, man. Let's get it.
Gary Blake, 201 Avenue King.
Mhm.
First of all, I wanted to express my appreciation for the work that Brad and his team did last month with the cleanup, the arrangement you for Washington Park. It went very well attended, and it really helped out quite a bit. Also, just so we can go down that same line. Just like everybody else, we have a process that we utilize when we get our bills. Unlike you, we only meet once a month. When that pickup happened, that was on the 6th of May. And I guess she sent it to me. I wouldn't look for it, ended up going into my trash. But at any rate, not beyond that. The next time we had our meeting was on June 1st. Your meeting was on June 2nd. So in order for us to do our process, and the bill wasn't a month old, we have to go through our process to make sure that thing gets done. I wasn't here at the last meeting and I had some personal issues I had to deal with. But the feedback I got, I was kind
There
of
was one
disappointed
specific to that.
in the way that it was presented before the council and the way that it was just handled. I know we could do better than that. But anyhow, bill is paid. Thank you very much. Second thing I want to put out while we're here is that we have our Juneteenth parade and festivities coming up on the 20th. That's this coming Saturday. I invite everybody to come out. It should be a great time and we can celebrate a fundamental portion, a fundamental idea that happened here in the US. And so those are the only two things. We have a third thing. What's the fuel that we're using in that emergency generator? Is
Diesel.
it diesel?
Because, during emergency, the state of Florida has contracts with diesel fuel, so that you know, when you make emergency situations, we want that to be diesel,
Okay, so that's gonna be what, a 500-gallon?
I guess. I don't know.
Mhm.
But it's 117 died.
All right, you gotta have power, Gary. I mean, if electricity goes out, we gotta keep City Hall running. So we gotta have power.
No,
So,
not this
all
one. I just. All right, thank you.
anyone else?
I have something. Back to the Brownsfield, that we were speaking about, make an amendment to use some of that money in other properties. And as we watched the videos yesterday, they talked about cleaning up the asbestos and derelict buildings. We should definitely get the process rolling on the Oak Tree property. As we all know, she's not going to be financially able to clean those boats up off of there, and this is something that the Brownfield does. And also to touch on the, I believe you said $500,000 for 6 counties that they sent in the okay. In the past, Hendry County didn't use their funds, and we acquired some of their funds. That's something also to look into. But I would, I strongly suggest, I spent a lot of time with Tracy Worrells working on Brownfield, and I do, so you can feel my pain. Mr. Moon. So I would like to try and get this Oak Tree property on the list, because we don't know if those boats have been emptied of their fuel contaminants. The batteries could still be in them, and that's exactly what the Brownfield organization program takes. So I strongly urge you to, when you make your amendment, make that a meeting choice.
We just-
right along with what he's saying on that property.
We just have to make sure that when they're ready, we
She'll
can
sign
get a
it.
hold of
She'll sign.
this Ogletree.
Yes, but so far that's been.
That was the bigger holdup, is that nobody was responding to us. And I know with Miss so I was trying to get Brandy to in the loop, but it's,
If we could explain it to her in a way that we
Yeah.
could possibly receive grant money to clear this off your land before we have to put money against it. She's gonna sign any piece of paper.
yeah, because we already know that, and I don't remember where it came from. But, we have a street on paper that runs up to that property.
Yes.
And we know that there's groundwater contamination. And so obviously underground doesn't have any particular boundaries to it. So it's going to be one big issue over there, but
That's gonna be the only one. issue.
if we can get it cleaned up, I mean,
And that's the first time
Never sell that piece of
that you
property.
saw,
Yeah.
we've been working with
Should be
South
stocked.
Florida.
She's never gonna sell that piece of property.
well, if we can get it cleaned up, then at least that whole area
Starting
can be,
process on
yeah.
it now.
I mean, it's,
That's
it's,
totally
they wanted to
different,
so
so.
that direction, but yeah, it's
All right,
a
well,
long
that's what
story.
I'm saying. I'd like to see that piece of property, start doing fill out paperwork, start phase 1 on. That's all.
Okay, next. Going once. Going twice. All right, Thank y'all for coming, participating. Mayor and council to give reports. Ms. Krosky, Ms. Begg.
Do we have the plans from the grant that we received that they did the engineering for the seawall? Is that like on digital? Can we emailed or is that just the
Yes.
plans?
Yeah.
Okay,
For the seawall, we originally had the design approved by Mel, something like that.
Oh,
Mel-
jeez.
So got the, you have both those.
okay.
And then we've had, them updated
Since,
several times because the prices, you know.
right, yes, sir.
We probably need to re-up with the core though, because it's been several years. But when we get closer.
They did extend it once already, but we're looking.
Yeah, I just want to make sure.
But we are submitting for that again. Talked to Connie today about submitting for additional funding, because right now we have $925,000 in the state budget, but the government, it has not been sent to the governor yet, so we don't know. Till June 30th, whether that's final or not.
Okay.
Are the permits still active, or do we need to, we need to renew the permit?
They are still active. And I'll check to see what the expiration date is.
All right, Brad Smith.
Yeah, I forgot to mention earlier, is Comcast still around here working on the lines, or they?
If they are,
Do it.
it's still,
Okay.
but,
They're doing another major connection now. Yeah,
Okay,
ITG.
and then I guess the boss will get with you about all the damages.
I've already sent 2 invoices and I've got to send them exact addresses where they happened at, and they asked for one other thing in our W-4 so that they can pay us.
Okay,
So,
good. Thank you.
I got the picture. I
Yeah.
forward what I gave you already.
Yeah,
I sent the pictures I did have with it.
that's all I have. Thanks, Brad. And Ashley.
We have a new lineman, I understand.
Yeah, please, you go, Jessica.
Okay. I'm good. I can't think of anything else. Discuss financial statement if needed.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Alicia, seconded by Sean. All in favor? Good. I'm ready.